Hey guys, it's Comics G-Man here, and now you're going to find out why I was in such a bad mood in my previous videos. It's because of these comics that I'm about to talk about, very roughly. I don't want to spend too much time on these pieces of shit. So look, I've been reading Wonder Woman, I've been reading Superman, and they got interrupted from these tie-in issues. For example, Wonder Woman issue number 11 to 13. They're not related to the main story that I was reading. They're tie-ins to this event called Absolute Power. Same thing with Superman. Issues 16 to 18, I think, are tied into Absolute Power and have nothing to do with the main story that I've been enjoying. At first, I was going to take up the challenge, and I was going to read the Absolute Power event in order so I could understand it better. And let me tell you, I decided not to. I did give it a try, but it was just unbearable, absolutely unbearable. So let me just if you had to read the Absolute Power event in order, according to the list, you had to start with the Suicide Squad Dream Team run, which was only like 4 issues. I read the 4 issues. And let me just start with what I wrote before I get into my shit. Okay. Issue number 1. Alright, so I wrote down here Suicide Squad Dream Team number 1. I gave it a 7.5. I was trying to be open-minded and fair. I really was trying to, okay? Because, look, I like Amanda Waller. I like the Suicide Squad when it's done right. But this is not good. So I wrote here. I said, okay. So I'm reading the Absolute Power event because it annoyingly intervenes on my favorite solo runs I'm currently reading. A bit of a pain in the ass because it takes over, I think, 3 issues. Well, I already told you this. Anyway, on this Dream Team-ish. Not bad, not great. The art sucks, which is surprising because it's Eddy Barrows, and Eddy Barrows is really good. Story so far is okay. In my opinion, the new character Dreamer is DC's version of America Chavez, but instead of her multiversal powers and stuff, this one has the ability to go through every living thing's dreams. Her costume design is pretty close to Chavez. Oh, and yeah, apparently, the Dreamer is trans. If you really needed to know, which makes no sense because they show her as a girl when her mother died when she was young, and yet she still looks like a woman. All right, and then I say here, look, listen. I did some research, and I found that the author of this is her name is Nicole Maines. Was born a male and transitioned to female in teenage years. So I guess Dreamer is the author who was created apparently in this character was created in the Supergirl TV show, which I've never watched. Never gonna watch it either. Although maybe I will one day, but I'm not really interested. I watched most of the Flash up to season 5 or 6, I think. I never could get into Green Arrow. I think Green Arrow sucks. I get why people like it, but I think he's overrated. And the Supergirl thing, and I love Supergirl. That's the crazy part. But I saw how the show looked, and it just didn't look like I'd be into it. I don't know. I might be wrong. You guys could tell me in the comments. So anyway, I don't know if it's necessary to self-insert, but whatever. It's not that bad here. Anyway, Amanda Waller sends this dream team to do something in some other country. I don't know what yet. I don't know why. Maybe it went over my head. But Dreamer envisions Waller being the bringer of much death. I mean, obviously the event of Absolute Power builds up to the fact. You see how I sound like I just need to take a break, I think, from these comics for a couple of days or something. I mean, I'm reading the good ones, but these bad ones, they're so bad. It makes me say to myself, like, why? Like, it makes me say, like, I wish comics stopped. Like, these are just so bad. I'm almost embarrassed to be reading them now. Like, it's kind of embarrassing. I think I need to play a game for a couple of days, because I just need a break, man. I need a break. But anyway, issue number 2. I wrote here for issue number 2, I gave it a 5.5. I said, I'm sorry, but this is bad. The only good thing out of this issue was the conversation between the Dreamer and Amanda. But otherwise, Eddy Barrows seemed to be out of the game here with this art. His heart was not in this one. The way he draws Dreamer, she looks ugly and terrifying. But he does draw Amanda well, in my opinion. Maybe he's trying to say something there. Maybe he is. I know it's not because he's a bad artist. Some of the best artwork of his was in his Action Comics issues, so for some reason, he didn't seem to be into this. Maybe he isn't into this subject. I wonder why. Nonetheless, the writing is mostly horrible, and I find myself really forcing my eyes to go panel to panel here. Yeah, I mean, it's not even like consistent, man. Like, it feels so like cut and dry. Like, you know how some good comics, it's like it flows, and it's like as you're reading it, you don't feel like you're cutting it. It feels like you're flowing from next scene to the next line to the next, and it just fits so well. Not here, man. This does not feel that way. So then, issue number 3, I gave it a 2 out of 10. I said, this is utter trash. My God, can't wait to finish this. Please tell me, this author doesn't write most of the Absolute Power event. I might just stop reading altogether, if that's the case. I swear, most of the dialogue feels like it was written by a spoiled 5-year-old, and this Dreamer is just as annoying as Marvel's Chavez. Both have the exact same motives and motifs and themes. Hates evil racists, xenophobia, and loves refugees. Jesus, do these people have any more to their identity than the average leftist checklist handbook? Doesn't anyone get bored of these leftist tropes after a while? I certainly have gotten bored of them a long time ago. For God's sakes, the only interesting thing out of this is Waller at this point. But you even somehow turn Harley Quinn into a, yes ma'am, yes ma'am, you're moral, you're so good, I'm just here to support you, but I'm also here against my will. Like she's just like a yes'em character. Like, Harley Quinn has just been turned into a you go girl yes'em character, man. She's fucking boring. She's fucking boring. And this, well, I have to be fair. This was written during the Teeny Howard Harley Quinn run, which I didn't even fucking read. Because I know that's trash. I'm not even going to read that. And that was when she was like some kind of teacher or something. Are you serious? Are you serious? Anyway. So then I said, Deadeye is somewhat more interesting. But that's because he is Waller's nephew. So that's the most interesting drama you can draw from this. But even that is not playing up enough. I saw one critic saying this was the best iteration of the Suicide Squad he's ever seen. What the fuck was that critic smoking? Or was DC sending him a nice paycheck for saying that? Because this was garbage. This was garbage. Now you go to issue number 4. Issue number 4. Trash, without a doubt. Again, the writing feels like a 5-year-old having a temper tantrum about nothing being fair, and people are mean. And you guys are going to probably get pissed off at me, but you know what? I don't give a fuck. Because you know what? These people writing these comics, they clearly don't give a fuck what they're putting out. So why do I got to give a fuck about saying what I really think about this garbage? I said, reducing Waller's motivations to simple, this is a man's world, and I did this because I'm a woman and everything is against me. Like, literally, I'm not even kidding you. Like, there's a part where the Dreamer is talking to her in the office, and she's like envisioning if she tries to kill Amanda Waller, and then she realizes she can't kill her because this will happen and that'll happen. Well, she's like hearing Amanda's reasons for doing it, and it's literally that, like, well, how do you think I got here? This is a man's world, and I only got here to do like blah 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 blah, man. Like, it's just like unbelievable. Like, I never got that from the character. Like when I watched the Suicide Squad movies and some of the comics I read, I don't remember, but I don't remember that feeling. And I know, like, on the surface it might look like that because of Amanda Waller, what she looks like. But she's just a fucking cold, calculating bureaucrat. That's what she is. That's the horror of that character. She's a cold, calculating bureaucrat. That's it. I mean, yeah, you could give her reasons for it. Like, I know that in this they have the origins that she lost her husband, or knowing it, this stuff, it was probably a wife. She was probably a lesbian. No, I'm kidding. But she had a husband. He died. She blamed the superheroes. Blah, blah, blah. So fine, you know. But nonetheless, like, she's a cold bureaucrat. And what was I trying to say? Oh, right. I said here, you know, that whole feminist talk, that whole, like, it's a man's world. I said, that's funny, coming from a writer who is a trans. If life was so hard for women, so toxic, so sexist and oppressive, then who the hell would want to transition to a woman? Huh? Answer me that question. Answer me that. So then I say, hell, is it possible that some of these men who transition do it because they think they will get more opportunities as a woman in today's modern times? I'd like that to be asked. I know we could talk about the other side of it, but you know what? I'm just going to fucking say that. Because that's what I think. That's what I'm starting to think with these people. That's what it's starting to look like. So please, spare me the lecture of a man's world that's outdated and doesn't make any sense anymore in today's times. Maybe in the 50s you could use that trope, but now it just comes off as fake and gay. Fake activism, fake virtue signals, fake. And I said in my two videos ago, when I was getting pissed off about the Wonder Woman issue, even that 50s trope about how horrible it was for people back then, like women and the men and the family, I believe it's been overinflated, and these people have this fucking crazy fear fetish about anything from the past. And I'm not saying things were perfect. I know there are bad things, but it's like, you people are acting like everything today is so goddamn perfect with your fucking bullshit. Give me a break. So I go on, right? So I went on to read Green Arrow number 13 because the list said you have to read this for Absolute Power shit event. And it was garbage. Like, Green Arrow number 13, I'm not into Green Arrow, don't like Green Arrow. And I thought I'd read this, see what Green Arrow is up to, and I still think Green Arrow is fucking stupid. Yeah, so, alright, like, look, this one guy, I liked the review, I added this here, this one guy named Research Reader, I think he gave it too good of a score, 7.5 for the Green Arrow issue, but he explains to me why I also thought Absolute Power is so stupid at this point. So he says, my biggest gripe is the fact that this is tied into Absolute Power. Why has DC been building Waller up as the biggest threat for years? She is a government agent. She has some cool stuff to her, but she is not a world-controlling supervillain. The entire premise that this book is affected by is silly. That to me is like, I mean, it's like, you know, I think they're overdoing it a bit with this Waller character. I think she was good enough in the Suicide Squad, and that we see she's a bureaucrat and she's cold. But this whole stuff, it's overdone, man. They overdid it with her. And look, I tried to read Absolute Power Ground Zero number 1. I didn't even finish it. I couldn't get through it. And I know Mark Waid was working on it. I know Nicole, whatever her name was, that did the first 4, worked on it a little bit, but Mark Waid took the reins, and it still wasn't enough for me to say this is good. I just gave it a 1. I gave up on it. I said, I'm sorry. I just can't waste my time with this anymore. This Absolute Power event is overdone, and it's nothing deep. You wasted issues of Superman and Wonder Woman for this. God, I usually can read through some crap, but you know what? I just value my time right now at the moment because I'm getting fucking sick of this shit real quick. I really am. And then I did a vengeance spree. The Wonder Woman 11, 12, and 13, those were the absolute tie-ins. I just gave them all ones just for being absolute tie-ins. Don't even want to fucking read them. Don't give a fuck because they have nothing to do with the main story anyway. And then with the Superman number 16, 17, and 18, I gave them all ones just for being associated with the absolute power timeline bullshit. What a waste. I mean, it sounded good on the surface, but garbage. Absolute garbage. I mean, these events these guys come up with, this is trash. I'm getting so sick of the modern political tropes. I mean, I know it's been bad. I know, but I just had to see it for myself, and I'm telling you guys, it is bad. It is bad. Like, everything to these people is a modern day connection. None of these people have an imagination of their own. They can't create anything out of this world or anything unrelated to the things of today. I mean, they're so uncreative and daft. I mean, say what you want about like some of the 60s comics that were like really goofy and stuff. But you know what, man? Like, those guys were imagining crazy, stupid shit. Like, they were just coming up with nonsense. And I would take nonsense like that over all these writers trying to educate me on what's moral and right in modern times. Because I'll tell you one thing, they're not fucking moral at all. The fuck do they know about it? Oh, just because they were lucky enough to fucking get in these companies and they get to write our fucking heroes like that, that means they're a moral arbiter above us all? Give me a fucking break. You're nothing. You're nothing. Go fuck yourself. You got nothing on the old school writers. You got nothing on the old school artists. You're pieces of shit. Alright? And look, there are some exceptions. I'm not saying they're all bad, but you know what? I'm just so sick of the condescension. I'm so sick of it. And it's like, go away. It's a shame though, because it's like, I'm not one of these people that want to see comics die, video games die. I hate to say it, like, if you got rid of some of that, all that stuff, I think life would suck. I mean, especially because we're so inured in all this technology, and we can't get away from it anymore. We can't get away from smartphones. We can't get away from the TV. You could get away from the news and stuff, but you know, some of us are so used to it, like we kind of we need it at this point, and it's like, so if we could keep some of the good stuff, I'd say let's keep the good things that come out of this. But sometimes you wonder, is it outweighing it? Is there enough of the good to outweigh the bad? Yeah, I think so. I think so. It's probably a matter of perspective, you know. But sometimes it feels like it also just go away, you know. But that's enough of my nihilist talk. I'm depressing myself. But if you guys stood this long to listen to this shit, I'm probably going to take a break from the comics for a little bit. Probably going to indulge myself in a game or something. I got some other more serious adult things I also need to attend to. That's probably I got my mind on that really too. But yeah. What a shame. Thanks for listening. If you guys like and subscribe. Have a good one.